Hey Facebook friends and YouTube. This video will be about the power of our words. This video is just as much for me as probably any of you because I can be a little bit feisty too, as you all probably noticed yesterday in our debates regarding homosexuality. Alright, it was fun though. I think you guys probably all had fun and I had fun. And I forgive all of you that insulted me. It's okay. No worries. God still loves you, and I still love you all too, even though I unfriended some of you. Sorry. All right, power of our words. Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Interesting. Eat its fruit. That is, if you speak life with your words, then you will eat its fruit. Like, you will benefit from good words. Like, for example, if you're married and you compliment your spouse and you write love letters, which reminds me I should do that. Me and my husband used to do that. We haven't done that in a while. But if you are in a relationship and you write love letters to your spouse, then that will greatly build up your marriage and you will eat its fruit, meaning you will experience a greater bonding and friendship and love. And if you do that in any relationship, you know, like there was this song by DC Talk that I still have on my iPod and I've always really liked it. And it's, you know, say the words, I love you. And I think people don't say that enough. And not just I love you. Like some people say that, but that's all they say. And they don't say, you know, you gotta make it fresh and say like different things. So people really know that you appreciate them and you care about them. Because, you know, sometimes people forget or, you know, we all get insecure sometimes and we don't really realize how much people care about us because if they don't say it, then how can we know? So it's important to say it. If you care about someone, say it. Express yourself. Express yourself. That was in that movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Interesting movie. Okay. Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. That is a really important verse. So, try and make all your words give grace to people, but it's also important that he says, as is good for building up. So anything that will make people grow stronger, that's what you should say. And I heard in a sermon once that, you know, sometimes you need to tell people what they need to hear rather than what they want to hear. And sometimes love isn't soft love. Sometimes it's tough love. Not meaning that you should be abusive, like verbally abusive. But, you know, sometimes if you really care about someone, then you probably will correct them. Because if you see that what they're doing is killing them, you know, but all things in moderation. You don't want to be a nag. Like, for example, my husband smokes, and I try to, well, I don't really stay a whole lot anymore because I've kind of given up. So please pray for him about that. But, you know, I don't know. Probably nothing I have done has really been effective, and that's why he's still smoking. God give us all wisdom with situations like that. How we can build people up the right way. The way that you would want us to. Amen. And help people the right way with grace and building up. All right, Proverbs 12:18. There is one whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Oh, that's a good one. That's really good. I've never like singled out that verse before. Rash words. So when you are angry and you speak right away and you don't think before you speak, you just speak out of emotion. Your swords can be like sword thrusts, like you're trying to stab someone. And that's very true. But the tongue of the wise brings healing. So seek to bring healing with your words rather than sword thrusts, like you're trying to stab someone. And I remember hearing sarcasm, like the definition or the meaning is that it's like tearing of the flesh or something. My dad and his brothers were always really sarcastic, and my dad was pretty sarcastic with me and my brother, which is a big statement because he was a child molester. So you got to watch out for things like that, you know, like sarcasm, like sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. Like, I know I can do that with my husband. I can, you know, I guess it's kind of a teasing thing, but I think that it's lighthearted, but sometimes the other person's not really in the mood for joking, or there's certain subjects you shouldn't joke about. I remember my stepdad used to do that with me after my mom married him. And one time he tried to tease me about money, and I was like, no, that's not funny. Like, that's not something that you can tease me about. So be careful. You know, everybody has their soft spots, their buttons. You don't want to push their buttons. So, you know, be cognizant of that and realize that, you know, some things might offend someone that you might not realize that it would, but it might. So just try and think about that before you say something. Okay, but that's what's tricky about Facebook is that, you know, a lot of times we add random people, so we don't necessarily know each other or what will piss each other off. So, yeah, but hey, it's an interesting construct, but overall, I think we all like it. Matthew 12:36. I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak. Oh, that's pretty serious. Give an account. I don't know if that refers to Christians and non-Christians. I guess it does, because he doesn't really specify. People will give an account for every careless word they speak. So like, you know, the great white throne, we're all going to line up in front of God. And I've heard from some people that had like a dream or vision about this, that you'll be standing there before God, the books will be open, or he'll like play a video on a screen of your life. And then you guys will talk about it. So, yeah, that should be interesting. So live in such a way that you won't be ashamed on that day. Do the best you can with what you have and with the life that you have. You know, do the best that you can. And if you do, then God will hopefully be understanding. You know, nobody's perfect, but yeah. Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Yes, a good quote I heard was, the best answer to anger is silence, which is true. My mom used to have a serious temper. I mean, serious. Like, I was actually scared she might kill me on a few occasions, but it was scary. And so she would flip out on me, and I would just be quiet, because I was thinking, well, why would I say something? It would just make her more mad, and she's kind of scary right now. So, and that's why I'm anti-medication, because my mom has always been on some kind of medication, like ever since I've been born. She started, I think she started medication when I was like 3. Which would make sense, because having a 3-year-old is pretty tricky. I currently have a 3-year-old, and yes, it's hard. But, so she's always been on medication, and she's flipped out quite a few times on me. And so I have always blamed the medication. And I think that made her more antsy than she would normally be. So be careful of meds, be careful of any substance, alcohol, marijuana, anything, you know, pills, even vitamins maybe sometimes can mess you up, but just be careful of anything that you take. You know, it might be making you more volatile than you would normally be. Or angry. Proverbs 16:24. Gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the body. Proverbs 21:23. Whoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble. Yes, that's true. You don't want to pick fights with too many people. Like, sometimes it's fun to debate, you know, if you can keep it like calm for the most part. But yeah, you don't want to get into too many debates or arguments. Pick your battles. So yeah, watch out for that. Keep yourself out of trouble by watching what you say. Proverbs 13:3. Whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. He who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. Oh, yeah. So don't say too much stuff. Whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. So if you want to have a good life, be careful what you say. Don't make too many people mad. It's good to try to be a prophet and be a teacher like I'm trying to be. But, still be careful what you say. Because, yes, God is love, and we should love. And so that is the number one thing. So, God loves you all. Have a great day. God bless.